Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I want to thank you all for tuning in to watch our show. Particularly, I want to thank our $25 tier supporters, Rowan Parker, Drevine Alexander, Samantha Bates, Kat Waterflame, and Elle, without whom we wouldn't be able to do nearly as much of the things that we do. So thank you very much, and thank you everyone that tunes in to watch. It really means a lot to us, particularly in, a time where your entertainment hours and minutes are very well fought over. So, thank you very much. And if you're watching live, please be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Star Wars The Twilight Nights. I'm John, I'm your game master for the evening. And joining me today, as soon as I find the button, there it is Jack.
Hey everybody, my name's Jack. I'm playing Jash Ulan, the Chiss Guardian, Sorcerer Defender, and Protector.
Go ahead
And for Destiny, says we still have the same light side, dark side pull as last week, so we might want to clear that first. It's fine, it's fine.
Give me a moment.
It's not fine. It's not okay. It's fine.
You die first.
like that was ever any doubt. At some point, we're gonna have to roll dice.
There was ever a question. Whoa, two light side. Something's gone wrong with Jash.
Something's up with Jash. Something's up. No, wait, hand. Something's up with Jack. Something's up with Jack.
With Jack.
It actually works.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
I really want to rewrite that song, just adding the fuck after everything, like the fuck between what is.
Yep.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Nerese, droid, consular, healer.
With updated art.
Yes.
That will soon be
Dark side.
irrelevant.
They're back.
And Jeremy.
Hello, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Esty, Zoltron Shadow. There we go. Oh dear.
Oh boy.
We're clearly gonna die within like 3 minutes.
Come on. I don't do things that fast.
Start plotting your new characters now, people.
Just ask anyone who's ever slept. Couldn't get that joke out. Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I am playing Avazia. She is a pureblood Sith, Gia Berserker. And I'm rolling Destiny. I almost forgot.
I like how I can make dirty jokes endlessly.
Too dark side.
I can make dirty jokes endlessly, except when they're about me, at which point I just die halfway through it.
I've heard you make dirty jokes about you.
And William.
I'm William, and I'm playing Corsorat, the Sith Pureblood Makashi duelist, who will roll another light side.
Pretty even.
5-3.
Yeah.
5-3 in favor of the gentleman.
Compared to last week.
I mean, compared to the last like 3 or 4 weeks,
Yeah.
3 or 4 sessions, it's been this is ridiculously light side.
Good, because you're going to need it. When last we left off, the party was deciding on their course of action. They have an admiral's shuttle with admiral's codes, but it's a minor admiral, a minute admiral at best.
La Petite Admiral.
La Petite Admiral, who wasn't going to be able to get them past the blockade, but would potentially get them onto one of the 3 capital ships orbiting over the planet. Their options are the capital ship belonging to the Emperor's Wrath, or the Emperor's Hand, basically the right hand of the Emperor, who is currently Empress. The capital ship belonging to the Empress herself, or the capital ship belonging to Darth Saf, the head of Imperial Intelligence. They settled on Darth Saf, mostly because they didn't want to be murdered by the Empress or murdered by the Wrath. And
So they went with the evil lesbian queen.
well, no, their Empress is the evil lesbian queen.
I mean, fair.
There can be more than one.
No, there can't. Not in the Sith Empire. There is only one Dom allowed. Everyone else is sub.
Listen, when you get to choose your Darth name and you choose Saf,
Look, there can also be plenty of switches.
Only if they kill their Dom first.
Top.
No, it's levels.
Anyways. So, you've made a plan. You're going to sneak on board Darth Saf's ship by swapping Neres' chassis out for an Imperial droid and dressing the rest of you in Imperial outfits. Corserath and Avasia will be staying behind. Cassilian will be joining the 3 others that are going. And potentially also the Black Pyramid, but we're still working on getting in touch with him. Speaking of which, as you're waiting for word from Cassilian, there is a communications hail to the shuttle that you are all currently resting in. I believe everyone's awake now. Everyone's recovered enough to be mobile.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
yes.
Yep. No, Josh was the last one up, and he woke up towards the end of last episode.
Who is it from?
Unknown sender.
Cool. I will accept the hail.
That was
Hold
my
on,
screen
hold
name
on.
on my early RP boards.
Let's at least do a little bit of identity scrambling for the image.
Go ahead and make
That's
a...
doable.
So what?
Yeah,
I
you
stand in
go
front of
ahead.
the camera, but Avasia does the talking, and I try and.
No, well, either it doesn't look like scramble the image so it doesn't look like us, or if that's not doable, audio only.
You can do a computer's check, difficulty 2.
Okay. Diff 2, nothing else there. Okay, cool. Well, never mind.
So you go to figure out how to scramble it.
I haven't worked with the Imperial ships in a little bit.
Unfortunately, it's just a failure and a threat, so you don't turn it on. But
Good.
I like how you said
I
unfortunately.
said fortunately. Fortunately.
That might have only been in my head. Ah, darn.
But no, you determined very quickly that you couldn't do this
Don't
while
have
while
time.
the hail is coming. You'd have to set it up
Okay.
previously.
Here, let me. And Corserath puts the rest of his helmet on.
That'll also work.
Answer it.
Yeah, I will answer it with my helmeted face.
In lieu of a face, the hologram projects a inverted black pyramid.
Good to see
Like
you.
the idea that you answered it with your face, and with your helmeted face,
Yes.
as in
Bam!
slam the button on.
A long pause and a what the fuck coming from.
Unorthodox, but I can respect it.
As you answer, several lights begin to blink on and off on the console as the transmission connects, and the scrambled voice that comes over goes, "Sorry about this. I'm just disabling any automatic fire." As a ship flies over, coming very suddenly into view, a ship you all recognize as the Black Pyramid ship.
Welcome aboard.
I'm not landing on your ship, and the communication cuts. as the Black Pyramid ship wheels around and finds a perch on a fairly not stable section of the tower, but stable enough. As you all can sort of feel the slight tension of a building that's only barely standing getting a little bit more weight as this Jenga tower becomes a little bit more unstable.
You know, I'd be a little bit more concerned about how shitty this admiral is, that his weapon systems on his ship were that easy to just disengage remotely. If the fact that we had weapons remotely mattered in this situation at all.
I wasn't aware that this vessel had automatic fire.
Also, remember who we're talking to.
The ship does have weapons. You used them to kill everybody, remember?
I do know who we're talking to. And
No,
do
I know the
what-
ship has weapons. Sorry, Jeremy.
No,
go
you're
ahead.
good. You're good. I do know who we're talking to, and I do know who we're talking about. There's a reason why we're not just disabling the weapons on other ships as we go in. Like, I realize he's good, but
You can from the cockpit you can see the landing platform of the Black Pyramid ship descending, and then the two armored and hooded figures of Ronan and the Black Pyramid disembarking as they begin heading towards your ship.
I don't think that any of the capital class ships would be dumb enough to accept a hail from an unknown sender.
We aren't going to be an unknown sender.
brilliant people have done stupid things from time to time.
I
But
will
yeah,
head.
probably
I will
not.
head down to meet Ronan and the Black Pyramid.
I'll follow.
Vazia will go with.
As you get down to the exit ramp, they arrive. Black Pyramid looking over your group and the ship. You hadn't told him how much had you briefed him on? I forgot.
Very light. We had not given him many details, just where we were and when we had, the fact that we had to readjust.
So looks over the ship. All right, it sounds like there's a story attached to this.
There is.
Just wait.
Oh, is that Jeremy?
I said, oh, just wait. But I'm not there, so.
Corserath will fill in all of the details for the sake of not repeating this a third time.
Yeah, as the two of them walk on and the group of you move into the ship with him, you'll fill in the story. Eventually ending up with him sitting at that central meeting table that is in the middle of this shuttle. All right, so just to clarify, so I know what's going on. Plan here is to get on board Imperial Intelligence capital ship stationed next to the Empress's ship above Nar Shaddaa in the middle of a blockade. Steal any information that we can get our hands on, disable the blockade, or at the very least get transponder codes that will allow us to get through the blockade, and then leave before anyone's noticed. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Yes, that's pretty accurate.
I mean, I doubt we'll be able to do it without someone noticing, but hopefully leave disguised by chaos that we cause whilst on board. But more or less.
Oh, the group of you definitely don't do anything by half measures.
What's the point of that?
It's a good question.
I've never known anything to get done by half measures.
See, this is why we get along so well.
Ronan from the side goes, I mean, mixed drinks.
And nothing gets done on a mixed drink, does it?
That's only a half measure of case. It's still.
A half measure of rum, a half measure of vodka.
Oh, you don't
glass
just mean
is
like,
still
yeah,
full.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but you don't measure the glass.
I have lost the thread of this.
You also,
Some people measure it. We call those people wrong, but some people do.
Ares does a scan and realizes Ronan's intelligence is very low. He's very good at things, not thinking.
if you've got improvements or adjustments to make that would improve our survival odds, I would love to hear them.
Honestly, I think you got the right call. As weird as it sounds, Imperial Intelligence is going to be the safer of the three. So, well, I guess depends on your skill set, really. How good are all of you at hacking computers?
I can.
Passable.
Yeah. So
I'm good at getting through security.
We don't have an expert slicer, but we have 2 slicers.
with Darth Saf, tech is going to be the forefront.
Right.
Their internal defenses, they might not have the most powerful troops and the most powerful force users on board, but they're going to have the best IT security. With Wrath, you really only have to worry about the Wrath. And with the Empress,
Only.
well as everything else. I mean, only. Right, none of you have fought him.
No, you have?
Once.
How'd it go?
I'm alive.
Who is he?
Lord Wrath used to be too.
Good enough.
Lord Wrath used to be referred to as Darth Malfagol, which is when I fought him. He was under the name of Darth Malfagol at the time.
That name sound familiar at all?
That name sounds more familiar than obviously
Right.
than you would have known previously. You can go ahead and make a you can make an underworld check, a warfare check, or a lore check.
Can Josh make that?
To make a lore
Yeah,
check.
any of you that would like to.
Underworld.
What's the difficulty?
Okay, underworld.
Say underworld, warfare, or lore. Lore is going to be difficulty 3. Underworld is going to be difficulty 2. Warfare is
Awesome.
going to be difficulty 2.
2 advantages, no success.
1 success.
What was
Nope.
the difficulty on lore?
Lore is difficulty 3.
Mine did not roll.
Roll it again.
Wake up, character sheet.
Wake up.
Wash. Okay.
All right. The only one that knows anything is Esty. So, Esty, Darth Malfagol, is a bit of a mystery. In that's even before you factor in the Lord Wrath aspect. Darth Malfagol doesn't there have been no tales of Darth Malfagol prior to becoming a Darth, which isn't it's not unusual. That obviously they take on different names when they reach that level of
Right.
power, but there still tends to be rumors, legends, myth, the sort of thing that they might build up themselves about who they were beforehand. Darth Malfagol has nothing. It's almost as if he manifested at that level of power. Which has led many individuals within the Sith Empire to assume that he was not naturally born, or that he is some sort of. Some people have said there have been crazy rumors of like he's a literal manifestation of the Emperor's force power. He is a clone of the Emperor. He's a clone of the most powerful Jedi ever to live. He's the clone of the most powerful Mandalorian to ever lived. All manner of rumors as to what he actually is, because there is nothing recorded about him prior to taking the name Darth Malfagol. That's with one success. That's sort of the gist of your knowledge.
A whole bunch of bullshit, basically. All right. Okay. So we have so Wrath is essentially the urban legend given Darth flesh.
Kind of, yeah.
Great.
And he gives the impression too when you meet him. Very much boogeyman in the flesh.
Are you advising we target his ship because it's got lower security and there's only one thing worth worrying about there then?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. It
Wasn't-
still seems
wasn't
like
exactly
a fairly
sure where we were.
terrifying proposition because
Yeah, the man. To give you an idea of when we're talking threat level, the man can bat away a disruptor rifle bolt with his bare hand.
as you do.
That's how strong he is in the Force.
Right, so we have our plan.
So, infiltrating, which means you'll need to have me along, since none of you are particularly good at computers. The trick I used on this ship isn't going to work to get us on board, so I hope your key and convincing conversation will get us on.
Good.
Ronan, you're going to stay behind with Avasia and Corsarath. Not that I don't trust the two of you, but it's always good to have another set of blades.
Also, I believe Ronan is the best pilot of the three of us.
Ronan nods. Yeah. You'll need to come in hot if we need to make an escape route and this ship gets compromised. So, myself, Cassilian, SD, Nerees, Jash. Against Darth Thaf and her army of spies. Not the worst odds. Yeah, I think we can do that.
I don't
Well,
think I've
once
ever
we
heard
have
how high
supplies,
your-
I'm eager to get started.
I don't think I've ever heard how high your ranking was in Imperial intelligence.
You haven't.
Not willing to share, I take it.
Hi.
You
Or
can't,
they don't have a name for it.
You can't see the grin on his face because he's wearing a helmet, but you can imagine it being there.
Yeah.
As somebody who made contact at one point, I can say at least hi.
Yeah, no, yeah. SD, like, he has a rank.
Yeah.
Specifically, he is the rank of Cypher. He was the rank of Cypher that didn't have a rank anymore, which is
Yep.
in itself a rank.
So yeah. He just says, yeah.
If you
hi.
need to ask, your clearance isn't high enough.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the ciphers go from 0 to 10. He was not on the number scale anymore.
Yep.
Specifically, he was referred to as Cipher X.
Is he drawn by Rob Liefeld?
I was gonna say.
I couldn't help it.
No, he's drawn by he's drawn by the guy that does the new Lobo, or did the new Lobo.
The bad Lobo?
I mean, all Lobos are bad. The skinny
Emo-
Lobo.
Skinny emo Lobo.
Yeah.
The Lobo that forgot what the point of Lobo was.
Yes.
But yeah, he looks more like he's drawn by that guy
Okay.
because
He has feet, is what you're saying.
he does have feet and fingers, and
guns that are not just random squares.
approximate human physiology. Yeah, it was.
He's not made of pouches.
Listen, we'd gone almost a month and a half without slagging Robert Liefeld on air.
Fair. You know, when I made Jinimaizo Zardun, I modeled him after the new Lobo because there's
Yeah.
so few good Chiss images.
And to be fair, it's a great design. It's just a shitty Lobo design.
Oh yeah. It's a great design. It's a
Like,
bad
yeah.
Lobo.
I love the design of that character. It's just
Not Lobo.
no.
It's Twink
No.
Lobo.
Oh, honey, no.
Twinkbo.
Yes.
It's designed
Like,
specifically to appeal to me.
Well, the thing is, it's literally Lobo becoming all the things that Lobo was created to make fun of.
A little bit. And sadly, that was not the worst thing that happened in the new 52.
Anyway,
Starfire says hello.
so yeah. With the Black Pyramid on board, very quickly after that, Cassilian gets back in contact and eventually returns to the ship with uniforms for those of you that are going, including the Black Pyramid and himself, and a fairly large droid that has been deactivated and being carted along for Neri.
Woo.
Hang on 1 second, and I will get you a chassis. So as he carts this pile of mech onto the ship, he does look at Neres' current form and go, "So I couldn't get anything more bipedal."
Damn it. Okay.
The training droids weren't available, but I don't think you'll. I think this will help.
There's no image.
No image
Mm-mm.
in the link.
Nope.
Why is there no image in the link?
I see nothing.
Why
It is a
there-
broken link.
Why is there no image in the link? That is the link.
It's not entirely broken. Just backspace to where it says guardiandroid.png.
Yeah,
Eliminate
usually
everything
that's-
after that.
I fixed it.
All
I
right.
fixed it. There you go.
Yeah, if you see something, if you have a broken image that you know for a reference that you know it should be good. Typically, if you delete everything after the
image
file
file
extension.
mention.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I always
Well-
do that just out of habit with image files, even if it's not necessary, which sometimes turns it into a broken image, but very rarely.
Well, this is familiar at least. I know that it's pretty similar to my old one.
You don't have to stay. You don't have to stay there for long. We'll keep yours on. We'll keep your current chassis on the ship. So,
Good.
but it'll do you for. So this chassis, you're going to lose the boost to brawn and agility that you've gotten from your current one. However, this chassis will increase your soak by 5. And it will increase your. Actually, sorry, you'll only lose the one the buff to your agility. You will instead get +2 to your brawn.
Okay. Versus the +1,
yeah,
or
versus the
is
+1.
it okay?
So instead of the
So
+1,
plus-
it'll be +2. So
Okay.
yeah, instead of 1 in brawn and 1 in agility, it'll be 2 in brawn. 2 in brawn and 5 to your soak. It also will increase your encumbrance threshold by another 10. Because this is
Cool.
a big bulky body.
Is that extra 5 to soak on top of the 2 extra soak they get from upping their brawn?
You don't
you don't
get.
get-
Oh no, yeah,
Yes.
your base soak doesn't go up from increasing
Yeah.
your brawn. That's
It
right.
doesn't go up from increasing your brawn. This particular chassis just increases soak by 5.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Everything else will remain the same.
Alrighty.
Your hit points go up from increasing your brawn, but not your soak
Correct.
Yes.
or wounds.
Actually, no, it's the other way around. Your wounds don't go up, but your soak does.
I'll look at the rule book.
One doesn't.
don't know.
One
Something
doesn't. One
happens.
does.
So I don't.
I'm pretty certain wounds don't go up, but soak does. So it would be on top of the 2. Because wounds, you have to get talents to increase. Well, anyways, Jack's looking it up. So, the rest of you are provided with Imperial uniforms.
Soak goes up. Wound threshold does not.
Okay.
Always one and not the other. Just forget
Mhm.
which one it is. So for the
Yeah, your effective soak goes up by 6 because you get an extra 1 brawn and then the 5 extra soak.
Default soak value is equal to your brawn rating. Yeah.
Yes, he
so
just starts changing and says, "The things I go through for."
You're not dying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this
Josh
would not be the worst thing I've done to avoid dying.
will switch close over, and then turn to Black Pyramid. Would you recommend helmet or no?
For you, no. I would
That's to
recommend
decide.
I would recommend shaving though.
Fair enough. And he heads to the fresher.
I start working away at getting myself transferred over.
Both Esty and Jash, your uniforms carry a symbol of command on them. These symbol of commands add a boost die to all social checks made to interact with Sith Empire.
Okay.
You have the uniform and the symbol. Both of you are effectively designated as officers with these outfits that have been provided. Caecilian is dressed more as a trooper, as is going to be the Pyramid, and Nere's is a guardian droid who will be accompanying you basically. Caecilian lays the cylinder on the table. All right, you two, fight over who gets to be admiral.
Jash does not even make a slight motion toward it.
All right.
He slides it towards Esty. All right, that makes so admiral, and he points at Jash, adjutant. So,
Sir, yes, sir.
two of you are going to be in charge of this infiltration. Wear your best smiles, and by best smiles, I mean don't smile.
Does this have any soak defense?
No, it just gives you
that?
the. It can be worn over your armor.
It can. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That,
Even okay.
That was what I was
Sweet.
checking because
Yeah, it can be the uniform is designed to be integrated with your armor, so it's not
Okay.
it adjust. You notice as you're putting it on, it actually like there are like slips and slots in it that let it adjust to where your armor will poke through it fashionably in certain positions and ways, and it sort of hangs over it as a uniform. It is an accessory to your armor that turns your armor into a uniform.
Jash kind of nods towards Esty. Admiral, make sure Admiral doesn't get stabbed.
No, that's my job, Caecilian says, waving a hand, as he puts on what is definitively trooper armor. You can tell, Esty, you can tell, actually, yeah, Esty, you can tell based on the trooper armor that his armor would indicate him as a commando more than a regular trooper, so he's going to get a little bit more respect from the rank and file. But you still outrank him in this charade. Black Pyramid's armor indicates him as a specialist.
All right, so just so we get our stories straight before we go on, because I'm expecting paranoia on the ship.
Oh yeah.
Why the fuck are we landing there? Why are we docking?
Caecilian points at your tube. You've got news about a defecting admiral that needs to go to Imperial Intelligence Direct from your lips to their ears, which is why you can't broadcast it, because we know for a fact there are enemy forces on ground here, and they don't need to learn about any defectors that they could potentially recruit.
Like it.
And looks over at Jash. You are the actual person with the intel, so you have to stay with Admiral at all times, whereas we are your escort, and we'll probably break away once you're taken into officer quarters. So there's going to be a point where we're separated out. That means, Nere's, you're going to have to end up staying with us, so Jash, careful.
Indeed. Flips his saber around. Conceal or open?
Conceal.
Finds a slot in the armor.
Everyone conceal. Force users aren't
Already
officers.
done.
I start suppressing.
Just all bad, tens of bad childhood memories just going away.
Yep.
I'm gonna need
All my childhood trauma, just cram that right down.
He's just like goes into the corner. I'm gonna need a therapist.
Suppress,
I'm gonna need a therapist.
suppress.
I'm gonna need a therapist.
Who are we going to be likely to be taken to?
Black Pyramid speaks up. Most likely, you're going to be interviewed by either one of their what's the term?
Interrogators.
Was that most likely you're going to be interrogated. You're going to be brought before a watcher who is going to take down your information, verify your identity, and probably get some interrogation in on the side. Though nothing hard, so long as you convince them that you're an officer. With any luck.
When are we going to get our information that we need in this plot?
Well, we are rank and file escorts. So once we break away, we're going to be a little bit less under scrutiny, which means we can find a good place to plug into a terminal. That's why I'm going with you. He says, Blackburn says, indicating to you and Cassilian.
You could probably have some variety of information to actually start talking about, so the interrogation doesn't end as soon as it begins.
Well, if I'm the one holding the information in question.
How soon into the process does I should probably know this, but how soon into the process does identity verification begin? Because that shit's not going to hold up.
Well, they're going to start trying to verify your identity as soon as they get you alone in a room. It's not going to hold up if they press, but I'm sure you have your ways.
I mean,
Stall.
Well, okay, to be clear, are we simply talking about interview, or are we talking about actually checking some credentials?
Both.
Shit like that.
Both. Once they get you alone in a room, they're gonna take your code cylinder, they're gonna run it. They're gonna run their facial recognition scanners and things like that. If you're quick enough, you might be able to do some of your, and he just sort of waves a hand.
Right.
To muddle their brain or something.
Can try.
I've only ever done this technologically. I can give you a dummy code cylinder that you can swap out for the real one. That will take them longer to identify, but eventually that one could be confirmed fake.
The only way I scramble or muddle minds is at the end of a plasma blade. So that might be all you.
I can try. I'm not creating memories or shit like that, but I can do some fast talking.
Just got to make them like you however you can. Now, these folk are trained to resist force powers,
Oh, good.
But they're not.
I am
immune to
experienced.
it.
I am experienced in many ways of getting people to like me.
Yeah.
If you can prevent them from beginning their scan by any means, then that will buy you even more time.
Theoretically, I am not saying that this is the first option, because it is not. But theoretically, should it come to drastic measures, how quickly are people on the ship going to know?
Depends. And I can't give you a better answer than that,
I
unfortunately.
mean, that is absolutely fair.
Yeah,
But like, there's not going to, based on what you've told me and what I'm assuming, based on interrogations and how much they're probably just going to, whoever it is probably just going to do for their own edification, I'm going to assume that there are not, like, at least visible high level security cameras or the like.
Every Imperial intelligence ship is different. And typically interrogation rooms do have some sort of recorder, but typically it's audio. They expect the watchers to memorize. The watchers tend to have cybernetically enhanced brains, so they are pretty good at eidetic memory things.
Okay.
They'll they will offload that data into a computer once they connect to it. If you are able to mess with the meat part of their brain, they might still record they might still record the truth, but they might forget to upload it.
Right.
As far as people being aware as to when shit goes down, depends on the severity of the shit and depends on where it happens. If Cypher fucks up, then might not be known very quickly as they try to clean it up so they don't lose their head. If a Watcher fucks up, it'll probably be very swiftly spread throughout the rest of the ship. Basic security, they tend to scream at the sight of blood. So, varying levels of response depending.
I
mean,
remember that.
If I feel like we're about to be discovered, they're not gonna have a chance to see blood.
There you go.
Someone fainted when I walked out of an interrogation room once. They were new.
I was talking more sound the alarm, but yes, there are also people like that. I don't know why they go into intelligence. It's kind of stupid.
See, I never did a lot of the interrogation. I just did the go find, bring back evidence.
Yeah, there's definitely a few of them that really like watching those crime procedurals and don't realize that that's absolutely not how it works.
Law and Order, Coruscant.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they expected. I don't think they expected the
CSI
brainwashed.
Alderaan.
To be fair, I don't think they expected the brainwashed Sith to be the one carrying out the interrogation, or what that meant when the brainwashed Sith is carrying out the interrogation.
Sounds like this guy needed a light. Yeah. That is the greatest piece of TV in existence. No one can tell me otherwise.
I can and I will.
They made the choice to begin every episode with a pun, specifically with a fucking dad joke. Cut to putting on glasses and rock music.
They're not even good dad jokes.
That's the point. It's a dad joke. They're not good.
No, there are good dad jokes.
I feel like that was the only CSI that knew what it was.
I mean, counterpoint to that being the best show on the best show ever. Can't think of his name now, but that actor was on it. Therefore,
Fair.
By definition.
Anyway,
yeah.
All right. Well, Cassilian says we're ready to bullshit.
David Caruso.
Yeah, David Caruso.
Yes.
David Caruso. We're ready to bullshit our way onto an Imperial Intelligence dreadnought.
Let's.
All right, you take the helm, he says, pointing towards the Black Pyramid, who then points towards the other two of you and says, and you get off the ship.
Yes, and then we'll go and get on your ship then.
Exactly. I have an encrypted emergency alert that I will send out to my ship if we need you to come in quick and hard. If you get that alert, make sure your lightsabers are in your hands.
We should take Nerese's primary body with us in case they decide to search the shuttle.
Let's save it with us just in case Nerese needs to get back into it. We can put it in the armory.
All right.
They're going to ask questions if they find a Mandalorian chassis in the middle of the shuttle's armory.
This is the shuttle of an admiral who is known for sport hunting down here. The fact that he took it as a trophy will probably not raise too many questions.
Fair.
See you later.
Valzia will look at the three of them. I like you guys. Don't die.
Oh, thank you.
Cassilian,
No promises.
Cassilian off in one corner. You've just guaranteed one of them's going to die.
We don't have.
Josh just raises his hand.
Put it down.
Puts it down.
We don't have stupid call and response phrases like the Jedi do, but good luck.
I feel like that is inspired by something that happened earlier in the day. Somehow.
Caecilian, again. What, you don't like May the Force be with you?
No. Because the Force is literally always with us. We are Force users.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's more of like a maybe it's
Get
thinking
us.
about you. It's got you in its thoughts.
Yeah, the
Stupid
Empress does
nonsense,
that too, and
touchy
we don't
feely
want.
bullshit is that?
I like it, he says as he quietly gets over into one corner.
I love that we've made the Black Pyramid sulky.
No, that's Caecilian.
Oh, sorry,
Caecilian.
Caecilian.
Yep.
Caecilian. Sorry, brain. I meant one, said the
Ja-
other.
Jash turns to our two cis purebloods and just goes, "Have a day," and walks over to him.
I know you said Sith,
You
but it
too.
sounded like you said cis purebloods.
Well, that raises some questions, but okay, we'll just go with it.
I turned to our two cis purebloods.
As opposed to all the trans purebloods.
Yes, I suppose. Well,
Thoughts and prayers. Anyway.
God.
thoughts and prayers to
Listen,
Fox.
when a
Gotta
Sith, when a
murder
Sith
you
Lord tells you
all.
what they identify as, you don't question it.
Right.
I do want that. I'm gonna play that.
I mean, you
character.
don't question it either way, but
Like the next time I get a chance to play in an Edge of the Empire game, and I get to play like a dark side Edge of the Empire game, I'm definitely going to play the Dark Jedi that introduces themselves with their pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
Just like,
Excellent. I approve.
like with their lightsaber in hand. Like, come on.
You can call me Darth Malgus. They them.
Just
that's like there's the
has little pronoun pin on the
Right, yeah, I got a little pin right there on the rope.
yeah.
pride flag, like trans pride flag etched into their lightsaber.
Wondrous.
Weird.
I say, couldn't you do that with like the crystals? They get different colors.
Yeah.
I feel like this is possible.
Yeah.
Why hasn't this happened? Come on, Star Wars. Anyway.
Yep. Mhm.
I put my rainbow quartz
Dude.
lightsaber on.
I mean, that's a whole conversation because name the number. Never mind.
If I was able to draw, and I wanted to piss off a large amount of nerds at one time, I would draw someone with a like pride colored lightsaber, or like the blade itself is modulating through different color phases, because that would piss off a lot of nerds. Anyways,
Like that's been done, but
it might have been. I haven't seen it yet. I want to.
I'm sure somebody somewhere has, to be fair, but yeah.
Anyways, so the Black Pyramid initiates the engines,
Uh-huh.
takes off. He expertly navigates through the droid layer, partly because he is an expert pilot, and partly because this ship has a emitter that causes the droids to leave it alone. So unlike when you all flew down and crashed into them, this one just sort of and they parked. Very rapidly, the ship exits orbit. And you see, floating off in the dark expanse of space, 3 pretty far apart from each other relatively, massive ships. The 3 capital ships orbiting Nar Shaddaa are all 3 Harrower-class dreadnoughts, with a few customizations each to indicate their individuality. Harrower-class dreadnoughts are roughly 800 meters in length. They have multiple layers of shielding, heavy reinforced hull plating, over 32 turbo laser batteries, ion cannons, proton torpedo tubes, concussion missile launchers, and multiple docking bays to house their almost 100 starfighters, 32 bombers, and 35 shuttles.
And it can be yours for only X number of payments.
We have, with a crew,
Slaps roof. You can fit so many stormtroopers into this thing.
with a total complement of nearly 10,000 people, the Harrower-class dreadnoughts
There you
are one of, if not the largest ship available to the Sith Empire at this point in time. Each one individually is capable of destroying most sentient life on any given planet by themselves. There are 3 over Nar Shaddaa. One belongs to the Wrath, one belongs to the Empress, and one belongs to Imperial Intelligence. That's the one you're heading towards now. As the ship approaches, you get a hail. This hail is requesting transponder codes and identifying information as well as purpose of your visit. Black Pyramid very quickly responds with a standard pilot authorization, providing transponder codes, providing information, reason for the visit. Looks over at Esty as he's beginning to punch in information. Admiral.
Sorry, I legitimately thought that was part of the information that had already been.
That hadn't yet given you a name.
Viala.
Viala?
Viala.
Viala. Puts in Admiral Viala. Looks over at Jash, Adjutant.
Vanilla Anuri Khan.
Adjutant Vanilla Warrior Khan. Type that, please.
I will.
Both information on both officers is input into it. Eventually, there is a green light for docking. Docking Bay 3. Vanul Anori Khan. Okay. And the ship approaches. As the ship flies into Docking Bay 3, you see that there are a variety of starships getting ready for dispatch. Mostly this seems to be the bomber wing. So there are numerous Extinction-class bombers that have been prepped and ready. Extinction-class bombers, or the B-28 Extinction-class bombers, are the standard Sith Empire bomber unit. They saw extensive use during the sacking of Coruscant, where they were the primary method by which the Coruscant cityscape was devastated, aside from the assaulting Sith troops. There has been plenty of room made for the shuttle to land, and you see a contingent of Sith troopers, led by what appears to be an apprentice of some kind, long dark robes, very visible lightsabers on their hips, waiting for the incoming admiral. So,
Is Nuri's suppressing everybody in their region, or
Yes.
okay?
Okay.
Daenerys is currently suppressing everyone that's in short range.
Okay.
All right. Cassilian, Esty, and Jasher staying fairly close to Daenerys.
Worth noting, short range is a step outside engaged range. They don't have to be literally adjacent to.
No, but
Yeah.
still fairly close.
Mhm.
As you land, you sense two things. One, you sense an immense dark side presence aboard this ship.
Okay.
Not identifiable, but either there are a lot of Force users on this ship, or a very few very powerful ones. The second thing you sense, odd, standing out against the background static, is fear, terror, anxiety, but resonating in the Force. Not particularly light, not particularly dark.
It's fine. I needed some inspiration to go dark. SD needed some inspiration to go to lean dark, and that works.
There is some individual aboard this ship that is significantly powerful individually in the Force,
Mm-hmm.
that is not aligned with the dark side, not aligned with the light side, and is terrified. And the 3 of you can feel it. 4 of you counting Caecilian.
And we are not yet in audio range of.
No.
Rescue? Dude, this just turned into a rescue mission potentially.
Black Pyramid looks over his shoulder. What?
You not?
Feel that.
He's not a Force user.
Oh, right.
No, I'm not a Force user.
There's
I'm there.
a non. There is a
powerful
is-
prisoner here.
yes.
Who is scared?
Oh, shit. All right.
Okay, we can rescue whoever it is in the chaos that we cause when we transmit all of the Empire's secrets to everyone, everywhere.
Prison Dex.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that prisoner's existence was maybe in those secrets, and
Prison Deck's going to be 1 floor below wherever they take you. Most likely, they like to take their interrogations near to where they're going to lock them up.
Right, makes sense.
So we'll make our way there once we split off and see what we can find.
Cool.
So if you need to get down there, cut through the floor.
Hey, look. Positive side, if shit goes sour, we may have another person to help us out in this fight.
Very possibly, but I've got a
Maybe.
bad feeling about this.
Don't say that. Why would you say that? Fuck is wrong with you?
Caecilian goes, the same reason Avasia said don't die.
Okay, and I can't even explain why, but for some reason, that other one just feels worse in the setting that we're in. And I don't even know what I mean by setting, but
I can round out the trifecta if you'd like, Esty.
No.
All right, I'll keep my mouth closed.
What are you, 2 days before retirement? Black Pyramid asks.
No. There is another one that will not be said.
Macbeth.
Makes
Yeah,
great
that's
burgers. All right. well,
Anyways,
there's an impatient person waiting for us. He says as he hits the landing pad drop button. All right. He and Caecilian sort of form ranks with Neres. And the group of you march.
Yep.
I
I just walk right through.
As you get down the ramp, you are greeted by this apprentice. You can see they are a human, female, dark robes, red hair hanging down in sort of a braid on one side, fairly clean and positive features. Welcome aboard. I take it that you are the Admiral.
Correct.
We'll take you to the Watchers, and you can disclose your information to them. If you wouldn't mind following.
Lead the way.
They turn and follow. You all, even though Neres is suppressing, Neres is suppressing the sense of the Force from you, that doesn't stop you from sensing outward, though.
Right.
You can sense this apprentice is fairly strong, but not as strong as any of you given. So if this is the average level of Force user on this ship, then it's what you're feeling would indicate there are a large number of them, not several powerful ones.
Okay.
Of course, this is just an apprentice, so you don't know how many.
Or
of them
it's a
there are.
mix somewhere therein
Exactly.
of.
But there's still enough dark side that we're like, if they all landed on us together, we're fucked.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So
Someone crashes a shuttle full of these guys into the middle of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, and we have a war on our hands.
that was like a year and a half ago now. No, more than that. You are led through the ship. Eventually, you reach a checkpoint where you can sort of tell, based on how people are milling around, that Neres and Caecilian and the Black Pyramid, are going to need to separate from you.
Mm-hmm.
Which means after a few moments of walking, the apprentice that is leading you will begin to be able to sense the Force.
I will be. It's okay. Unfortunately, I can do this for me. Don't know that I can do it for others. But where is it? Well, yeah, no, let's see. I just spent a destiny point and I am undetectable through sense and my force powers are unnoticeable.
Okay. So you flip that destiny point.
Yep. Not roll, use. There.
Josh?
Fuck all I can do about that. Pretty sure.
Do you are you giving any sort of indication that you don't have anything as you approach what's very clearly a checkpoint?
In terms of like the fact that I've got my lightsaber hidden on me, or what?
No. I mean, like that you don't have anything planned for when you have to step away.
A little bit. Yep. Just kind of look toward Nerys and give a bit of a shrug.
Oh, 1 second. Let me roll. Okay. So, sort of seeing this, the Black Pyramid steps up and sort of takes you by the elbow, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And as he does, you feel a needle inject into your arm.
I
And
hope he takes me by my right arm, because otherwise
yes,
that's going.
He takes you by your right arm.
All right.
Sort of grabs you by the arm, and you feel this needle inject into your inner elbow, as his hand. You don't see anything on his hand, obviously, but something. And through the helmet, so it's a sort of like synthesized vocoder that the Sith Empire soldiers have. Sir, you're looking all right. Sir, are you all right? You're looking a little green. And you begin to feel nauseous.
Gravitational change, probably.
Go ahead and
Am I gonna hurl?
give me a resilience check, difficulty 3.
Okay. Doot.
You just got poisoned by a cipher agent.
2 successes, two
All right.
threat.
So you managed to hold in that urge to vomit,
Right.
but you do take 2 strain as I spend those 2 threats, and everyone looking at you can tell you have very suddenly turned a deeper shade of purple than you normally are. Esty, you look over your shoulder and you can see that they are not feeling good.
And she doesn't even look over her shoulder. She just snaps, Laneric, are we waiting for you?
Do you want to intentionally vomit, Josh?
Yep, he's going to make a bit of a scene. Yep, just at that point he just stops trying to hold it back and hand on the knee, bends over and just whatever shit he's been eating on Nar Shaddaa for the last 24 hours is now probably coating the decks.
Mostly it's been back to fluid.
That's true.
So back
Ew.
to fluid isn't very nice looking initially. Once it's been stewing inside you for a little bit, it's particularly disgusting and unidentifiable. As this sort of bloody red-green mucus just splatters out onto the ground out of Jack, whose body is doing a valiant effort to eject any and all substance from it at the moment. At which point, Cassilian and the Black Pyramid almost simultaneously begin doing the whoa, 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 medbay, and sort of grab and sort of indicate to Nereus to follow and begin hustling without asking permission, hustling the adjutant to the medbay.
That was, I noticed that was supposed to be a rhetorical question, but
The apprentice looks over at you, looks over at the adjutant. Is the adjutant needed?
If you don't remember out of game, yes, he's supposed to be the one who has the info.
Eventually.
sorry, I was not clear on what you meant in that particular situation. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that person. Yes, they have the information that is needed
Well then,
to be disseminated.
I'll send a message to the medbay to get them back on their feet quickly. In the meantime, we'll take you onto the Watchers and we can verify identity.
Of course. Fuck, I'm gonna have to kill somebody.
So the apprentice continues on, leading you past the checkpoint as Josh is hustled towards a medbay. At some point while you're being moved, a second jab you feel in roughly the same spot,
Antidotes.
and you begin to feel better.
Ah.
Just a little light poisoning.
Little light recreational poisoning. It's fine.
Effectiveness and fun are not necessarily the same things. Well, fun for you at least. Who's to say whether or not the Black Pyramid got a kick out of that? But you are hustled to the med bay, Josh. Where as you come in, you know, the doctor immediately comes over trying to ascertain what's going on with you. As he does, the Black Pyramid places a hand on his shoulder, and you don't see or hear anything, Josh, but your brain just immediately goes to that feeling of something jabbing into your elbow.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you watch as this person also begins to turn green. And the Black Pyramid's again through his helmet.
Right.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's contagious. as the doctor now begins to spew very rapidly. And
Wondrous.
you watch with it's almost stunning the efficiency at which he goes around the room poisoning everybody in the room without it looking like he's doing a damn thing.
Right. It's just mild general mayhem, but he keeps dosing people along the course.
Exactly.
Glorious. Love this guy.
As Cassilian's like sort of holding you up, and you Nereus and Cassilian are sort of watching this work, and he leans over and like just whispers in your ear, "What the fuck is going on?"
I've seen this sort of thing in Hollywoods before, but usually on comedies.
As within the next 10 minutes or so, half the med bay is incapacitated, the other half is taking care of the first.
The
The Black Pyramid comes back over to you. It looks like this med bay is a little occupied, so we might have to continue on moving until we find another one.
I'll take your word for it, Trooper.
And the group of you leave behind a scene of foul-smelling, gut-wrenching chaos.
Lovely.
I don't. What's the Star Wars comedy music sting? I don't know.
I
There
feel
is one.
like the Benny Hill music just worked.
Right, yakety sax or something playing in the background. Yep.
It's the same dramatic musical cutout that happened when Luke tossed his lightsaber over his shoulder. Where it's like music swells, and then nothing as chaos happens.
Yeah, the Benny Hill theme is remarkably close to like the Mouse Eisley theme.
Right. Yeah.
This is just a band of jizz whalers in one corner.
You were just looking for an opportunity to say that, weren't you?
Hey,
Yes.
I love me some jizz whalers.
We know.
They do good work. So, Jeremy, are you eating right now?
Yes.
Okay, I will not cut back to
Little
Esty
bit.
right. I will not cut back to Esty first. So
Sorry.
it's all right. I just want to make sure that I wasn't misunderstanding what was happening there.
What
Look,
else
man-
would that
Look,
image?
a man has to clean his optical mouse sometimes,
Okay.
and
You were leaning forward off camera, so I couldn't see what mouth was doing. All I could see was forehead and eyes. So,
I can't do that on a Twitch stream. They tend to ban you.
only if they see it. Saying it has to be on the stream. They have-
anyway,
They have to be able to prove it. So Nere's, Jash, Cillian, and Black Pyramid. You are in a hallway You're in a connecting hallway, moving down it, appearing like you're looking for another place to go.
which we are technically.
You are technically. So you are at the moment in the primary docking level, which is level 3 of this ship. What are the two of you looking for, or how are you looking?
Josh would just be trying to get a rough layout, see if there's anything that gives a rough layout of the ship so that we can start to make our way toward prison deck level.
Nereus?
Oh goodness. I don't know if that's a bad idea.
Well, you're not playing lists right now, so maybe not.
Maybe not.
I want to
Since
talk
we
to the
aren't close-
birds.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if I should do seek to see if I can specifically find this person
Up
or
to you.
sense.
And can you do that while suppressing?
I can keep one thing suppressing and one using sense.
Okay.
I have 2 force.
Yeah,
Force.
but in order to completely read as not force user, you have to suppress your entire force power.
Got it. Okay, I won't do that then. I'm looking for probably the any sort of security place where we can go to find the code we need.
Okay. So go ahead. You both can roll perception checks.
Okay.
Difficulty
2.
2. Okay, cool.
Meanwhile, Avasi and Corserath. The two of you are aboard Black Pyramid's ship with Ronan, who's just sort of sitting down in the middle of the dining area on top of the table, legs crossed, drink in one hand, helmet on as usual. Sort of rocking his head back and forth. You can hear popping in the neck joints as he sort of sits there meditatively with the drink in hand. What are the two of you up to?
Avazia has a drink in her hand. She's just sitting with Corserath right now, keeping an eye on him.
Arthur is just sitting, eyes closed, just in meditation, just reflecting, thinking, preparing.
Give me a force power roll, Corserath.
Roll my force dice.
Yeah, roll your force rating.
Blink. 2 lights and a dark.
You're meditating and thinking and focusing, sort of reaching out with your mind. You're sort of coalescing your senses, getting an idea of the powers that are around you. You can sense Avasia very clearly. You're very familiar with what Avasia feels like. You can sense Ronan. Ronan is sort of where Avasia is sort of a smoldering fire that ever ready to jump back to light. Ronan feels more like a combusting star. Too much energy, too much light, not enough focus. These two different sources of flame nearby. And you're sort of reaching your mind out to sort of try to get an idea of what's going on above. And as your mind reaches out, you're buffeted by this sense of various levels of force power coming from above you. You can't sense Jash or Esti or Neres or Caecilian. You do sense two things that sort of cut through the cacophony above you. One, you sense something unaligned, something neither light nor dark, but that is scared and feeling trapped and helpless. And then you feel something that feels like a predator. Something that, to your mind, evokes the image of a crate dragon hunting its prey by burying itself in the sand and waiting. That endless, infinite patience and knowledge of a trap well placed.
Oh, mother.
It's not
What
your
are
mother.
you hiding? Oh, is it not?
No. You've never felt this particular person before.
Mm.
But it is powerful.
This trap isn't for us, do I sense?
You can't tell who it's for. You just get a sense of a trap that has been placed.
We're about to be caught in the crossfire.
Of
Sith politics, if I were to take a guess.
what is it?
I feel fear from something that is neither Jedi nor Sith. If I were one to believe in destiny, I would say that it feels like it would be Jinibeshu Zardun.
You can definitely distinct that it's not that. You would recognize that.
Yeah. It is not, but would be the most thematically convenient. But there's something else. A hunter waiting for a trap to be sprung.
Your mother?
No. Her presence is like a swarm of locusts, all consuming, all devouring. Anything that can't be controlled is to be crushed underfoot. This is like a singular being of wrath and power. I don't think I would call it the Emperor's wrath, though I could be wrong. But someone lying in wait.
Is it coming from where the others are?
It's in orbit, I can say that much. I don't know if this trap is set for us. We might be the ones to spring it, though.
Time to start recruiting.
Out of character, is there any way we can get a message to them?
You know that the Black Pyramid has a way to get a message to you. You don't know if there's one that you can send in return.
Ronan is free to speak up if he has any thoughts on
All
this.
right,
So.
Ronan is here.
Ronan is sitting on the middle of a table, drink in his hand, on move.
Do you know how to get a message to the Black Pyramid?
What?
It's a
Do
good
you-
thing he's pretty.
Do you know how to get a message to the Black Pyramid, you idiot?
What? I was sleeping.
This is best of us, yeah.
Sorry, hang on. He sort of like wobbles a little bit. He was very clearly asleep. There's like I could send like an emergency message. It's not like a message, but it's like a warning.
That would probably break his cover, wouldn't it?
I mean, depends. He tends to have it on silent.
What kind of contents can you set in that, or is it just a general alert?
General alert, like, be wary, danger. If I tell you, he doesn't really believe in sending contents in an alert because he doesn't want the content of the alert to alert people that don't need the alert.
Okay. Is there a be wary but don't act immediately level of alert, or is it going to be fly into action now?
More of a variable thing, but he's not really the kind of person that flies into action ever. I saw him wait like for a bounty once. He laid in a sniper's nest for 5 days. I don't know how he ate. He didn't take the helmet off. Blew the fucker
Knowing
up,
what I'm-
though, when he got him, though.
Knowing what I know about Sith intelligence, he probably had injections of all the nutrients he needed prepared in his suit's biology.
Maybe. It's really good with that disintegration rifle, though.
In any event, we should probably let him know that there is more danger than we were aware of in that fleet.
Sure.
They may be about to spring a trap.
It might be meant for someone else, but they are probably going to set it off.
I think we should, get the ship ready.
Yes.
Definitely.
Engine should be primed for launch.
I'll go do that then. As he goes and primes the engine, Neres and Jash, the two of you sense a presence. Presence you haven't felt in a long time.
That's never a good sentence in Star Wars.
Who is it?
You both sense distinctly the force signature
Mhm.
of Nibishuza.
Oh. I turn. Where is it coming from?
You have,
Josh immediately puts a hand on Neres' carapace, but
you have a path. It's down a
Okay.
corridor through a door.
Neres,
He is that way.
that is bait.
Cillian looks back. Who is what way?
Nibishuza is that way.
You sure?
Yes.
Do you not feel it, Cassilian?
No, but I'm not the sensey type.
Is that direction?
I do not trust it for a moment. If we investigate, we do so cautiously.
Question. Is that because Cassilian or Nibishuza would be unaligned? Is that the same? Is it in the same direction as the
Nibishuza has always emitted the very warm and comforting feeling of the light.
Okay, never mind. All right. So it's not the same as
No,
that
it's not the same as not the
other
same that
presence.
you felt earlier, and you didn't feel this
Okay.
at all until just now.
Are they in the same direction?
No.
Okay.
Do we do this, Neres? Knowing that it could be a trap.
Yes, he's here.
You will stay with Cassilian. I will go first. If anything goes badly, you two will leave with Black Pyramid and finish the mission.
The pyramid sort of looks down at his wrist, which doesn't seem to have done anything for the group of you, but he seems to acknowledge something.
Okay.
I'll go with you, Josh.
All right.
Tuesday back. The two of you follow this sense. Caecilian standing back with Nereus is sort of, all right, well, we'll post up. And he sort of like leans back against the wall as if he's waiting for something. Act like a droid, Nereus. Act like a droid.
Just stand there.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Josh.
Hand on where he's got his lightsaber hidden, but obviously nothing out yet.
You and Black Pyramid walk down the hall. Turn.
Yep.
There's a door. Pyramid looks at it. Reaches over. Thumbs something on a lock. Door opens. Inside the room, you see a white plasteel lightsaber. Double-bladed. Sitting on a pedestal.
I recognize that, right?
Never shoots his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Pyramid looks in it. This doesn't feel right.
That is your brother's.
Yeah, I recognize it.
Anybody or anything else in the room? How big is this chamber?
It's dark. You have a little bit. You have a little bit of dark vision as a chiss, but not a lot.
Right.
It's the only light source. Middle of the room, on that light.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, is it like one of those like a kind of top-down pedestals, dim light, right? Yeah, and just black all around. Okay. Yeah.
Also known as Trap 101.
Right. Exactly.
And here we thought I was gonna screw this up by going on a side mission.
Make a resilience check. Difficulty 5.
Okay.
Upgraded
Ooh.
twice.
Oh my god.
Difficulty
So,
5. What?
So in
Upgraded twice.
in other words, fail a resilience check.
Well, the
Difficulty
question
5.
is how badly?
Upgraded twice.
Upgraded twice. Oh boy.
Now.
Okay. 4 failures, 2 threats, but a triumph.
No. Black Pyramid's turn.
He actually got successes.
He succeeded, but a lot of threats.
Yep.
Those of you that are further down the hall, Neres and Caecilian, watch as both of them sort of turn, look into a room,
Fall into pieces.
and then very suddenly their bodies go rigid as they are both lifted into the air and disappear around the corner.
Oh dear. Somebody's using bind.
And you
down in
hear
this
a
fucker.
door slam shut. And as you watch that happen, that's where we're going to take a break. Those of you watching, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. Remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, grab a drink, whatever you need to do. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. A dinosaur story. Speaking of a dinosaur story, Josh, thanks to that triumph, you get to say one last thing. So as your body locks itself into position and your feet leave the ground, your head turns and you lock eyes with Nereis. What's the last thing Nereis hears you say before you disappear?
Oh, just run!
Nereis.
Which is a bit of a misnomer because I know that Nereis in his current form is incapable of running.
You have 3 legs. Fine.
He can clack, 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 clack very quickly, though.
Scuttle.
You're skittering.
Yeah, but saying scuttle would have been less dramatic.
Right, yeah. It's like, wait, from the
Skitter
Little
away.
Mermaid?
Oh.
Yes.
Nereis,
Yeah.
you heard Josh go run, and then he disappeared.
Damn it. Yeah.
This is Nereis, though, so running is the last thing that's going to happen.
No, that's not true.
Oh, yeah.
Nereis, not Liz.
Yeah. Yeah, I run.
Just any direction?
We were headed kind of in a direction that way.
Yeah, Caecilian, seeing this, looks at you, sees you beginning to move that way, goes, yeah, no, I agree. And the two, you take off at a brisk pace.
We have now split even further the party.
Esty,
Yep.
as you're walking behind this apprentice, you very suddenly felt a presence in the dark side of the Force that, in your mind, is roughly the equivalent of a rancor just getting to eat. And at the same time, you felt a spike of adrenaline from Jash's Force signature, and then you stopped feeling Jash's Force signature.
Okay. Where exactly am I right now? How many people are around, etc.?
At the moment, you're walking down a hallway. There are a few other troopers around, and there's the apprentice that you're following.
Okay. Let me discipline check this. Yeah, that is not helpful, dice.
The dice are like, make your own fucking mind up. For whatever it's worth, you did set that as difficulty 3 for.
Yes. Yeah, that was intentional.
Okay.
It's not a filler. So I think if anybody's paying too close attention to her, she definitely tenses notably. But is at the very least going to wait until she is alone with this, the watcher, whoever, and she ends up alone with for the first time.
Okay.
The first time she is alone with somebody, she will act.
Notice that the apprentice doesn't seem to have noticed whatever it was you noticed.
Interesting. Useless.
Meanwhile, Avasi and Korsarath, as Ronan is getting ready to prepare, the two of you, cutting through the pressure of Force sensitivity like a knife, you sense Jash spike in adrenaline and then disappear.
They've sprung the trap.
Is he dead?
Or just having his presence overpowered by whatever is very close to him. Which is usually a precursor to death, yes.
Ronan has already started the engine. He seems to have sensed something, but not the same thing.
I think we're going to have to go up there.
Already on it.
The bad plan. Ronan, what did you sense?
He points to the right, and you see there is a small LED, indistinguishable from the rest of the interface on the side of the cockpit, that is currently a solid white light.
Is that emergency extraction signal?
No, that's lost life readings. Ship takes off.
I don't think we have a choice at this point.
Of course, Wrath pulls out his lightsaber and he
Sorry.
starts hovering in front of his face as he focuses.
We'll make something up as we go.
There's about to be a lot more bodies on that ship.
We're not just going out the ship swinging, because that's what I was going to do.
There are more soldiers on that ship than you've ever seen in your lifetime. Swinging a lightsaber will kill some of them, but not all of them.
Right.
Lightsabers are good. Attrition is better.
What do we have for attrition?
That would be them against us if we started to fight this. If we try to fight head on, they would win. Unless you are the Emperor's hand, which you're not.
Chris says, like, there's something I haven't told you all.
I'm not left-handed.
Well, that would be obvious because he's been using his lightsaber right-handed the entire time.
He's ambidextrous.
I
mean, yes, he is, because
also right-handed.
Yeah. I mean, he is ambidextrous. That's why he has the gauntlet shoto as well as the regular
Exactly.
lightsaber.
But
Exactly.
let me tell you a secret. I am left-handed. Isn't quite as heavy of a...
That's not a secret. That's just an observational fact.
So, Black Pyramid ship is taking off. Ronan hasn't fully established a plan yet, but he's thinking real hard.
So not going to think of one by the time we get there.
With his how many intellect?
Which means Scorcharath and Avazia need to come up with a plan because
Quickly, because otherwise he's going to come up with one.
it's not going to be good.
His intellect is 2, and his cunning is 2.
Okay.
And his brawn is 2. His agility is 4. His willpower and presence are also 4. But you know.
Basically, what you're saying is he's not playing to his strengths right now.
No.
I maintain it's a good thing he's pretty.
He's got a force rating of 3.
Well, first off, do we have anything that can actually get us aboard that ship?
He gestures at the ship you're in.
Without getting shot down?
He reaches over and hits a button, and you feel something change.
How long is the stealth mode going to last?
Typically it's long enough to get out of planet and into hyperspace.
Why didn't we just leave in this ship then?
Okay, being pretty isn't even helping at this point.
Mostly because it's invisible to sight, not auto turrets.
So then what's going to stop us from getting shot down?
We're not trying to leave the blockade.
I mean, yeah, auto turrets.
Yeah, generally there's a line you have to cross before the auto turrets.
That's assuming
kick
the
in.
auto turrets are also not assigned to shoot down any ships not bearing Imperial signature that entered the vicinity of the blockade.
I'm a good pilot.
I'm a great pilot. Wait until you see his pilot roll. Anyways,
If we survive this, how are we getting on the ship?
look, I can only deal with one problem at a time.
I was actually asking the intelligent one, she says, pointing at Coursera.
Black Pyramid's not here.
Oh my god.
Case in point.
If this ship manages to get on board, there's no actually hiding its presence, I don't think, unless this can somehow also mask its own mass presence when something sets down on a hangar.
No.
So they'll know the ship sets down when it does, which means that from that point, hiding is out of the question. If fighting is out of the question, the only remaining option is sheer force of presence.
I was thinking of maybe connecting
Right.
onto the back end of the ship while they can't see us and going in through a trash chute.
If you have that capacity, sure.
Let's come up with a plan B.
Magnetic clamps.
In case that solid plan fails, we're going to come up with a plan B.
Look.
Oh,
So, Esty,
Mm-hmm.
you eventually, after a few more minutes, find yourself ushered into a room, told that, they're going to go fetch your adjutant, and regardless of whether or not he's feeling better.
Good.
And as the apprentice leaves you alone, another door opens and another individual walks in. This is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed humanoid woman with some very visible cybernetics installed just underneath both ears.
Okay.
Dressed in sort of a lavender dress uniform. Walks in holding a dossier. Sets it down. Doesn't say anything, just sort of play. It's sort of going through the motions of doing the I'm placing my utensils tactic that a lot of interrogators use when they're first enter a room. What do you do?
Just start off, give just as they're in the room, give them a very haughty look.
Mhm.
Wait for them to turn their back at some point.
Yeah.
And then put a lightsaber blade through the back of their head.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth check, difficulty 2.
Okay.
Just to see if you can get over there quietly.
Difficulty 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll use a destiny point. Why not? So we're gonna need them for anything else, conceivably, as they get closer. Upgrade and 2.
So yeah, very quietly as this person turns, you move over. You bring your lightsaber up to at an angle where it'll bust through the cybernetics as well.
Yep.
And just very quickly, on, off. And before the smell of searing flesh can really hit your nostrils, there's a as the body hits the ground.
Perfect. I'm going to take a moment, look through. Is there anything that this person brought into the room that could be used to sort of hijack to communicate out somehow?
Not that you can tell in the materials that was brought in. You do see that the dossier they brought in had a full breakdown of the admiral whose code cylinder you're using.
Okay.
So they definitely knew whose code cylinder you had, but nothing communication-wise other than the cybernetics that were in her head.
So, okay, now to be clear about this, the code cylinder that I was presenting as my own, or
the code cylinder that was used to get onto the ship,
right?
Which was the admiral, because you used the admiral's codes,
right? So the one that I was saying, this is me.
were you using the fake one or the real? Were you using the fake one for? Were you using the fake one that was given to you for that, or were you using the other one?
I feel like the other one because I feel like the fake one because the other one was the one where Josh was going to be like, there's a traitor among.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the fake one was me.
So yeah, so not the one that you were presenting as you, the one that the ship was reading.
Okay. Good. That potentially gives me a little more time and doesn't mean there's like 3 inquisitors just waiting outside to come in.
Yeah, no, you can tell just by sensing. You can tell there's not any of that.
Because I'm clearly not a human admiral.
Yeah.
Human masculine admiral, etc. Okay. I will. Is there anything in this room in terms of like that would grant me visibility to just outside the room on either door?
No, the doors are completely solid.
Well, I meant like cameras on, like communication panels or anything.
Yeah. Like there's there are like keypads.
Okay.
But nothing more complex than that.
Okay.
And you imagine that's intentional.
Right. I have to get back to them, so there's really only one door to go through. I will. So you make sure that the body is not like immediately in front of the door, like shove it off to the side of the door that we just came through. So somebody wouldn't see them until they're already in the room.
Yeah.
I will open the door, quickly look outside, see who's out here.
Nobody at the moment.
Oh, well, that makes it easy. I don't have to kill anybody else yet.
You imagine that's not going to be true for long, but nobody at the moment.
Right. I'm going to grab the code cylinder, stash it, stash my lightsaber, and just start walking like I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I am walking. If you walk with confidence, you're less likely to be stopped. And I am heading to where I sensed all that shit go down.
Yeah, all right.
And if I have the opportunity, I will be sneaky as fuck about it.
So you're gonna have 2 things that you can do. Okay. Either you're doing the I'm walking where I want to.
Fair.
Yeah, either you're doing the I belong here. Yeah, I belong here, and you're not going to stop me walk, which is going to be a that's going to be a leadership or discipline roll.
Okay.
Difficulty 3.
What's the other one?
But you'll get a boost die on either one of those because of your uniform.
Correct.
Or if you want to be trying to be sneaky and stealthy, it'll be a stealth roll, difficulty 3.
Well, I have 2 boost die for stealth because of my talent. So, and just better rolls. Although, better roll altogether. So, I will start stealthing.
Does your Zeltron ability not give you bonuses for the...
Not for leadership or discipline, no.
Okay.
That is for deception, charm, and I think those 2.
Okay. So those are your 3 rolls that you eventually do.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a stealth this shit.
All right, go ahead and make stealth roll.
All right. That's 2 successes and 3 advantages.
Yeah, so you manage to you begin moving very quietly throughout the ship.
Yep.
Using
as quickly as possible, obviously.
Using the fact that you are in an officer's uniform for the need.
Times where I can't just sneak one place to another, then I just start walking like I'm supposed to be there, and then
Neres.
Yep.
As you and Cassilian are very hastily heading towards what you can only hope is the prison level, you sense the signature that you had previously sensed as Jenimazo Zardun.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, Nebushuza. You sense it shift. That force signature changes as you're sensing it. It becomes Jash's force signature.
Do I know what that means?
No fucking idea. It's not something you've ever heard of before. Somebody's signature changing to be somebody else's.
Is it still in the same spot?
It's approaching.
It's approaching? Okay. Did I feel anything when it happened? Besides like just what I saw?
You felt
I-
you felt panic,
Yep.
pain,
Mm-hmm.
Jash disappearing.
Mm-hmm. But there was no fluctuation in Nibushuza, and there was no other signature.
Nope.
I do not know what that is.
I don't know what is, Caecilian says, who still apparently isn't sensing whatever it is you're sensing.
It's become Jash.
What's become Jash?
It's following us.
What's following us?
Keep moving. Can I figure out a way to get away from it? I want to be able to get to a point where we can possibly I don't know if there are cameras like around these levels, but I want to see what is behind us without getting close enough to it for it to be able to do something terrible to us.
Make either a survival or a perception check. Difficulty 2.
Perception. What's difficulty?
2.
2. Okay. Perception. Got a success.
Okay. As you're very quickly making your way through the halls, trying to find your way to the prison level of this particular dreadnought, you do spot what seems to be a security office. You can see there's a pair of troopers outside, just sort of staying at attention, keeping an eye on things. They give you a nod as you and Caecilian begin to pass by.
Fuck. I'm gonna keep going.
All right, so you keep walking past.
Yep.
Caecilian sort of looks at the security group as you pass by, keeps next to you as you continue past. Have any thoughts?
Mostly panic.
Yeah, no, get that.
We need to finish what we came here for. This cannot be.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but the guy who does the computer stuff is gone.
Yes. Where can we get what we need? Is that in?
Okay, we can get to.
Estee can do computer stuff.
I mean, I can do computer stuff too a little bit. We can get to a info terminal. It'll be probably in one of the, either in the Watcher's quarters in the interrogation area, or maybe there's an interrogation area or something in the prison area. I'm not sure. I know I can sense whatever that other force is in the prison area.
How close are we like comparative wise? How are we closer to the prison area by this point than to go back to where we left Este, or?
So if you're thinking about how long you've come, you're definitely closer to the prisons than where you had left Esty.
Okay. Let's continue on then.
All right, let's go. Esty,
Yep.
you get to a hallway, roughly in the area where you sensed the disappearance.
Okay.
And as you are starting to walk past and sort of keeping an eye out, you sort of instinctively stop and come to attention as an individual steps out and walks past you. For some reason, they are emitting Jash's or signature, but they are distinctly not Jash. You see before you a human, roughly 6.5 feet tall, very broad, probably like a 60, 70-inch chest. Broad shoulders, billowing black cloak, silvery white hair tied back into a ponytail, sort of a half up, half down, kind of Geralt of Rivia if Geralt lifted a lot.
Okay.
Red eyes, one of which is cybernetic. Little bits of cybernetic infused into the jawline and neck. Heavily reinforced black armor. Bit of hair hanging down from the face. And a very large lightsaber just dangling from a hip. As this individual steps past, looks at you, but looks kind of through you, as if they're not really noticing you. Doesn't say a word. Turns.
Okay.
Begins walking away from you. Cloak billowing
Does
behind you.
this fit any description in any sort of way for the person who is now Lord Wrath?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Though it is very odd to you that he feels like Jash.
Right. But that would fit with all the odd fucking rumors.
Yeah.
Like, I am going to. Okay, I have a question then.
Mm-hmm.
Did it look like he looked through me as if he did not see me? Or did it look like he looked at me, looked past me, and moved on? Because if I've made myself indetectable for the Force and he didn't see me, things that he might only see through Force.
No, he definitely saw you physically there. But he looked at you, realized you weren't worth his time because he didn't sense any Force in you.
Duly noted.
And continued on.
Okay, fair enough.
You get this.
In that case, I will follow behind at a distance, being sneaky, instead of just walking right behind him.
Yeah, you get the sense that he doesn't know the names of most people in the Sith Imperial Army because he doesn't have to.
Because he doesn't have to. He's the fucking Emperor's hand. What does he care?
Yeah, he's Lord Wrath. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, no, I will walk along. If there is a point that I see somewhere where I can, like a communications console or something I can really quickly rig to like send a message or the like, I will stop for that. But otherwise, I'm going to try to shadow this dude.
Okay, going to give me another stealth check. Difficulty. I'm going to say difficulty 3.
I will spend a destiny point on this because I do not want to fail this one.
Well, you don't want to have to answer the question of the Lord Wrath as to why you're following him?
No, I really don't. Sorry, difficulty 3, you said?
Difficulty 3.
Still, okay. If I had 1 and some advantages.
With those advantages, you are playing so hard into the I'm not worth your time that he has forgotten you're there.
Perfect. I want to know where the fuck this dude is going.
Yeah. So yeah, you're following behind him. He seems to be following some sort of path. It
Cool.
does take you past a security office, which you would have computers in it if you wanted to duck in there, but that's up to you.
I'm gonna take a quick look inside. Is there camera? Does it look like on a quick glance there's camera access in there?
Yeah. So
Because if I have to be delayed, then I could just figure out where he is by the cameras.
yeah, so there are the two soldiers outside the doors that let you
Right.
through because you're an admiral, or at least you're dressed like
Right.
one. And inside, yes, there are security cameras. You notice that there are security cameras where you could not see any security cameras previously.
Makes sense.
In fact, there are security cameras in that interrogation room that you were in.
Makes sense.
You can't see the body, and apparently they didn't catch anything when you were killing someone in there.
Okay, when I say I can't see the body, does that mean the body's been removed, or I managed to put it in
in
a
a place
spot
where the
it
cameras
wasn't
can't
seen?
see it. Yeah.
Okay.
They weren't looking at that camera when you killed them, and when they looked back, it was
Yes.
already gone.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, and if the people were outside, is there anybody in here?
Yeah, there's about 5 troopers in here that are keeping an eye on more cameras than 5 people can easily keep an eye on.
Okay. Oh. Well, shit. I can't kill 5 people, not without at least somebody saying something.
Stealth check's not that good.
Like
No,
what?
no.
Hey, don't do that? Or
Well, you can't like Solid Snake your way through, just kill the one in the back, nobody notices, kill the next one, nobody notices, kill the next one.
I mean, these are Imperial
Like
soldiers, so
shooting
that's not
turkeys.
impossible. But no, I'm less concerned about them saying something to stop me than saying something loud enough that the people outside notice. Like, I can kill all 5 of these people and probably not take a wound, but someone's going to yell.
When there's a guy really close by, you don't want them to yell for.
Exactly. You know what? Fuck it. I'm an admiral. Everybody out. I need this room.
Go ahead and give me your choice of deception or leadership roll.
Deception it is.
Difficulty 2, you get a boost die because of your uniform.
Okay. Difficulty 2.
Good old ingrained loyalty.
Yep.
Brainwashing for mechanical benefits.
I feel like they leave.
You don't finish the sentence before they're gone.
God.
I feel like
Everybody's on a smoke break. Okay.
they heard the tone of your voice as it came out, and they were like, "We know how that sentence ends." Bye.
Legit. So the second everybody's gone, I am going to the inner. Is there a communication where not just internal communications, but I can get a message out?
Yeah. From here, yeah.
I am getting, because we've got fucking communication coordinates for like fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Communication for the Black Diamond ship first.
Mm-hmm.
Come in. Somebody answer.
You hear Ronan. You hear Ronan answer. Gotcha.
Somebody important.
I'm flying the ship.
I'm here, Corserath says over his shoulder.
How is the pilot not important?
Not now. We have a problem.
I sensed it.
Yeah, that thing you sensed was Wrath,
Of course it was.
who is currently walking around feeling like Jash. Tell me what the fuck that means.
Mimicry of the Force. He's supposed to be some kind of abomination.
Not something you've ever heard of before. Either.
I've never heard of it before, but it could be anything from he copied Jash's Force signature to he ate Jash. I don't know without seeing Jash.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. We got separated as a matter of circumstance.
I would be willing to bet that
Jash
he's,
locked up in a dark room holding a hand to his face. He bit me on the cheekbone. What the fuck?
I would be willing.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet he's using it to draw out any of Jash's allies by making them think that he's them.
Probably. I'm just imagining Jash like Carlo Gugino in Sin City. But well, I can track him from where I can't be in this room for too long before people start asking questions, but I can track Wrath from where I'm at for now. I have no fucking idea where anybody else is. I'm by myself.
Open all the doors on the prison level.
Open all the doors.
Don't
on the
think I'm
detention
not
level.
thinking about it.
Open all the doors on the detention level.
Don't think I'm not thinking about it.
You're going to need some kind of distraction.
Well, that just gave me the excuse I needed. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh boy.
Make me a computers check, difficulty 1.
Okay.
Difficulty 1, yes. Can you find the button?
I don't know why.
Like-
They always have this big button that says release all prisoners in the security room.
Why would you
Right.
need one?
Right now, that disciplinary role that wasn't a failure is the only reason she's not doing literally everything that immediately comes to her mind at the moment. Distraction engaged. Where are you? When can you be here?
We're already on the way. Stealth systems on. We're going to be tagging the ship and trying to get in through a chute.
All right, good. I'm going to check in with our other people. I will be here. I don't know how long I will be here at this specific place, but I'll try to take a portable if they've got one
You
here.
hear over the comm, you said that was a bad idea.
It's also our only idea at the moment.
And I will disconnect. I'm trying to contact Nerys.
Okay. Nerees.
Yep.
You and Cassilian get down to the prison level and begin to head in towards the checkpoint.
Good news.
And all of a sudden, all the doors just force fields go down, doors go open, guards look confused.
Look confused.
It's like, Nerees, you and Cassilian look confused. Cassilian's like, did you do that?
No.
Okay. And it's at that point that a Wookiee steps out of one and just mauls a guard to death.
Yes.
I'm
This
going
is
to
almost
start
better than the secrets.
hurrying
This is
to
almost
where that
better.
signature is.
So chaos breaks loose.
yeah.
You and Cassilian very rapidly start making your way through the prison block, trying your best to not get attacked by prisoners or guards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, in the chaos, most of the prisoners have specific guards that they want to kill. So
Yeah.
Guards who have a history with them.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's
So
good.
they're all sort of finding their best friends, as it were.
Hey, you dance with the one that brung you.
And so, after a while, you and Cassilian come to a door at the end of a long corridor with no other doors nearby. You walk up to it, and inside there is... Jack, would you like to describe what they see?
A small figure, probably about 2.5, maybe 3 feet tall. Brown robes with a hood over top. Kind of hunched up in a corner with a pair of binder cuffs on them. And as the head rises, you can't see any of the face, just a pair of glowing eyes on the inside.
The Jawa Force user.
And the figure looks at you.
Do I understand?
That's up to you. Do you understand Jawa?
I mean, Nerys has learned a bunch of languages. I'll make a random roll. Let's do it.
outer rim, maybe.
Mm. Yeah, I could do outer.
Outer Rim difficulty 1.
Okay.
Languages are up to you to decide, but if you want to make it a roll, you can do that.
I want to make it a roll. I've said I have a bunch of languages before. I feel like it's just time to do a roll. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Are you a friend?
Yes, the doors are open.
Caecilian also goes, yeah. Pulls off the helmet. Smiles at you, kind of trying.
Right. He jumps down, jumps over to you, and just holds up his handcuffed hands.
I'll take out my lightsaber and cut through.
He looks at both of you, kind of nods. Which is, do you have a weapon I can use?
I don't think I have anything that's loose, unfortunately.
Caecilian thinks for a second. God.
Yeah, I actually don't even know what this one has.
He
This
pulls out.
chassis.
He reaches down into sort of like onto his belt where he's sort of like hidden some stuff behind bags, and pulls out in one hand a blaster pistol and in the other hand a curved lightsaber hilt. Sort of holds both out towards you.
He holds both out towards me.
Yeah, kind of like giving you like. The option.
I'm gonna make a force roll then. Do. I didn't. Oh, because I didn't click out of it. There we go. Both of them get yanked out of his hands and into mine.
He sort of like feels the weapons fly out of his hand into yours.
Right.
Okay, you don't need those at all, do you?
They get stowed in the robes, and he looks up and just climbs up onto Nerese's back.
And so you have temporarily borrowed
Right.
a reverse grip lightsaber Shoto.
Okay.
It has a damage 7, crit 2.
Okay.
Has superior, breach 1, defensive 1, sunder, and paired weapon qualities. As
All
well
right.
as the Shein reverse grip feature.
Cool.
The Shein reverse grip, I believe, it gives automatic advantages if you fight with the Shein style. You don't, so it does nothing for you.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, right?
Actually,
Yep.
in fact, it imposes a black die, a setback die. Which
Okay.
use it if you don't use it in that manner.
Okay.
Um,
And then was there a blaster pistol you said?
yeah, and there is one of Caecilian's 2 blaster pistols, Caecilian's Legacy. It is
a named weapon.
It is, yeah. He named it because he's extra.
Attaboy.
It uses ranged light.
Okay.
It has a medium range. It has a medium range band. It's condition new. It's got a custom for features. It's got a custom grip, a blaster actuating model, a set trigger, which gives it 2 automatic successes and a threat to the first shot of any encounter. It has the stun setting, superior, pierce 2, and accurate 1 qualities.
Okay.
And it has a bunch of stuff that happens when he rolls it normally, but
Okay,
for you,
but-
it's just
but I'm
9
not him.
9 damage and 2 crit.
Okay, cool. That's really what matters. I'm sure he'll use those with great effect very shortly. And then he just kind of tonks Neres on the side of the cranium and says, "Let's go."
We need to find. We have a way off the ship. I'm gonna try and contact Esther. I don't know if I have. We have
Any
like
Jawa is
internal-
made
Well,
of
I'm in the
force.
process of trying to contact you,
Yeah.
so
Roughly this point, the two of you contact each other.
Yes.
No, you.
Nerys. Well, I don't have a communicator on me, so other than the one I'm using within the. So yeah, Nerys,
Yes.
where are you?
In the prison level.
Good.
We have.
Everybody's free there.
Yes. That was you.
Yeah, we needed a distraction. You have a distraction. So, who's with you?
What is-
What the fuck was that? Why do you have a Jawa with you?
That is who is with me. What is your name?
Flunk Kikak.
Flunk Kikak.
Right. I didn't ask the name. I asked why.
Because he is the person. They are the person with the strong force signature who is scared.
Okay, dope. Is it just anybody else?
Caecilian. Caecilian.
You don't know where our other two people are.
They are gone.
I'm gonna need you to be real clear with me right now.
Nivishuz's signature went to investigate, and they were yanked around the corner.
Right.
Josh's I felt pain, but then Josh's signature kept following.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna need you to do. Couple things first. The black diamond is on its way.
Good.
I'm going to need, and while I'm talking, I'm going to be using the console to plot an out of the way course to get to me. Or get to a spot near me.
As you're doing that, go ahead and make me an astrogation roll or survival
Okay.
roll, difficulty 2. As you're doing that and you're sort of keeping an eye on the cameras, you notice that you don't see the wrath on any of the cameras.
Well, that's terrifying. I'll think about that in a minute. Difficulty what?
Difficulty 2.
Okay. I mean 1.
One, yeah, no, you're sort of, you can plot a pretty roundabout route going out the other side of the prison complex.
I'm sending you a route. Follow this route. And yeah, I'm gonna have it go somewhere near here, but not like somewhere where I can hide that's near here.
Yeah.
Take that route. Come
Right.
get to me. There's something that Wrath is on this ship. Wrath feels like Jash. If you sense Jash, fucking run.
Interestingly, you sense Jash on the prison level.
Here?
Neres does.
Oh.
He's here.
All right.
I will try and get in touch.
Go quickly. Follow that route. Don't veer off course. I will try to follow it.
Click.
We can talk while you run.
I like the idea that Nere's literally just said, click.
We can talk while you run, you say to a communicator that's been turned off.
Yes, no, she very much does.
Yeah. From outside the door, you hear, Admiral, is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Yes. I'm just about done
are
Yes,
you?
we're all fine here.
We're all fine here. How are you?
Doing all right.
I'm fine here. I'm fine here. I need just another moment, and then you can go back to whatever it is you were doing. I'm going to. Okay, the odds are really low on this.
Uh-huh.
Can you
The
do
odds
the
are
thing you were here to
really
do
low
from
on
here?
this. Well, no, there are three potential things that I would like to do, and I realize I will not be able to do probably all three of them. The first thing would be use this console as a place to turn off the auto gun or the auto.
That won't be able to do. You won't be able to do that here.
Yeah, okay, I didn't think so.
You would need to go to
The
What?
second thing,
This one security console won't shut down the entire blockade.
Hey,
I'm
listen.
astounded.
I don't know. This might be a very important console.
It's not.
You don't know unless you ask. The second
fair.
thing is, yes, try and get into Saf's secret bank. Does that even look remotely possible?
You imagine that any amount of information vault that Saf would have would be isolated from the rest
Have
of the
to
ship?
be accessed locally,
Yeah,
yes.
you have to get to
Okay.
it directly.
The-
Similarly, with the shutting off any amount of the turbo lasers, you are automatic. You need to be on either the bridge or the engine room.
Okay. The third thing is going to be I am going to try and put the program, the Black Diamonds transponder as an accepted. They'll just be let onto the ship. They have authorization, etc. There are
Adding a
any number
transponder
of
to the
weird.
automatic.
Yeah, there are any number of weird random agents who work for the Empire. It could totally be that ship.
So that for that one, go ahead and give us a. This is going to be not a computer's roll, because doing it is easy. It's making it look convincing that's hard.
Right.
This
Underworld?
is going to be a
Skullduggery.
skullduggery roll,
Okay.
difficulty 3.
Well, I'm not bad at that. I am the king of one successes.
Hey, one success is what you needed. Yeah, you add the ship's transponder codes to the allowed vessels list.
All right, and I will send an encoded message, just standard message, over to the Black Diamond, and all it's going to say is, it's just going to be in the form of like a standard sort of back and forth of authorization granted to land or to dock.
You're cleared for docking.
And then I am leaving that console area or that security room, walking out like I had every right to. There's nothing remotely wrong, and I am walking that path that I set up.
All right. As the ship magnetizes to the back end of the destroyer, and the clamps lock down on it, the ship gets the notification that's been cleared to land. Ronan goes, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, that would have been so good 5 minutes ago, Esty.
Look, I had a lot of shit to do.
It's okay. She can't hear you right now.
It's okay. If you're too slow, they won't ever hear you again.
Sure, she's doing the best she can.
I'm sure she is.
Ever be known to have been a problem.
How safe is the ship docked here?
Well, you can't actually turn a turbo laser on us to fire. I'm pretty sure we're not near a window, so yeah, pretty good.
Well, let's get
So
inside.
long as a starfighter doesn't look at us and go, "Hey, that looks weird."
Then let's get in here. To prevent that last thing from happening, do you want to stay here?
Not particularly, but it would be a good idea so that we have somebody here.
We all need to jump in the ship and leave.
Yeah. All right, I'll stay back.
I hate leaving any of our blades on the ship at this point, but it seems necessary.
He sort of looks like he's thinking for a second. Well, look, if I'm needed here, I won't be needed in there. So he will reach down onto his belt and pull off the larger of his two lightsabers. Flip it around and hand it hilt first towards Avasia.
She will take.
You are currently carrying Ronan's broadsaber. It has damage 9, critical 2.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, damage 9, critical 2.
Mm-hmm.
It has a Solari crystal in its features, which reduces the strain suffered when using Reflect by 1. It has Breach 1, Sunder, Unwieldy 3, and Defensive 2.
Okay.
So it doesn't burn like your lightsaber does, but
Unwieldy is the strength-based one, right?
yes.
Which is she's fine then.
Yeah. Actually, no.
No, Cumberson is
Cumbersome is strength.
strength-based.
Unwieldy is agility.
Mhm.
So if you have agility less than 3, you get a setback die for every level less than. I don't know what Avasia's agility is. I feel like your agility is pretty good.
I'm pretty sure it is. It's a 2.
Oh, your agility is a 2? Okay, so it's 1
Yep.
setback die to wielding that. But it does good damage, and it gives you defensive 2.
What are the modifiers on this?
So damage 9,
Yeah,
crit,
I got that.
crit 2, breach 1, sunder, unwieldy 3, defensive 2. Defensive 2 gives you 2 to your melee defense. And the Solari crystal reduces strain suffered when using Reflect by 1. So rather than taking 3 strain to reduce damage when you use Reflect, if you have Reflect, you take 2 strain. And he looks at you and goes, I want that back.
We'll see.
So the two of you seal your helmets, presumably.
Yeah.
Disembark. Very quickly, you make it over to a trash chute that is in the middle of dumping trash.
In we go.
On your way in. Go ahead and give me a coordination check, both of you, difficulty 2, just to make it through.
What upgrades do I have to enhance at this point? I can use enhance on coordination. Good.
Flat roll's not a failure.
I'll take those to make 2 successes that counterbalance that 1 failure and become a success.
All right, so the two of you, you get a couple of you get buffered by a few bits of trash that sort of collide with you as you're climbing through, but for the most part, the two of you make it through just fine, ending up in a trash storage that is in the middle of emptying out into space. As your held breath and oxygen is getting a little bit low, on your sealed suits, you do feel you hear the iris of the trash chute close as atmosphere begins to fill the room again. You are in a trash compartment on question mark level. And now the two of you also feel Trash's force signature. Not nearby, but on the ship.
Did SD warn us about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, Wrath will force his way out of the vent.
As will Vazia.
Get your way, make your way out. Where are you trying to head as you get free?
Where are we at when you get out?
Oh, you're in some sort of maintenance shaft.
Find our way onto whatever level of the ship we are and ascertain our location.
Okay. So, at this point, Neres, Plunk,
Yep.
Cassilian, and Esty, you find your way to each other.
Dung. Oh,
He just waves high.
she just sort of slightly nods. The Black Diamond should be docked at this point. We need to find them and we need to get off this ship.
Do you know where they are docked?
I know where they're docked, yes. The problem is I don't think they're gonna stay there because think about who it is.
Yes.
But once we get to the ship, we can find them.
Start heading that way.
Yep.
Cassilian looks to you. So we didn't get a chance to get any data out of anything. Or
Yeah,
codes.
no, I imagine not. Neither did. Well, good news is we know that Wrath is down here, or down. Wrath is where you guys were.
I don't know how you guys know that. I'm not sensing anything.
I don't know what to tell you. Yes, he's there.
Yes.
You don't sense Josh?
No.
Interesting. Where on this ship is Saf's? Because that's where we're gonna probably have to go.
Based on the layout and my experience with previous layouts like this, she's going to be towards the back, upper levels. We're sort of midships right now.
Let's go. That's it. It's the only place I can be sure that it's going to be. Otherwise, we're going to be wandering around this ship trying to find the information we need.
All right.
Neota Saf.
Yeah?
I'm going to assume just because I dealt so much on Narshada and other places of scum and villainy that I
Plunk
speak.
seems very opposed to the concept of going anywhere near Saf or Saf stuff.
She looks over. Look, if we don't get what we need, we don't leave this planet. They eventually find us. There is a blockade designed to auto shoot anything off of that tries to break or.
He kind of just hunkers. He just kind of hunkers down behind Neres's carapace head at the moment, and doesn't say anything else.
Right. So the group of you begin heading towards the back end of the ship.
Yep.
Vasia and Korsarath begin climbing in from the back of the ship. And all the while, all of you except for Plunk and Cassilian feel the presence of Dash getting ever closer. And that's where we're going to end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.